When you do not reflect, you will deflect, project, and protect. You have to understand that when you lack reflection on yourself, well, what is internalized as resistance will be projected outwardly as if the external object of which you project on is the enemy. In factuality, the only enemy is you. At the deepest fucking level of comprehension, what you perceive in the world is a reflection of you because your mind is filtering what you perceive as you. You have to understand that the world is entering your brain, and for you to perceive the world, your brain must filter the world to fit your narrative. And so the reason that everything is so evil and fearful is because internally that is what you are. And so most are quick to deflect, neglect, and protect. Most people rather smile at their weaknesses instead of actually revolt and grow. Most people rather sit there and cynically cycle through this abyss consciousness instead of look in the mirror and realize it was them all along. They rather sit there and project responsibility onto him, her, and neglect the fact that the reason they have such resistance is because they neglect to look in a fucking mirror. You have to understand the less you take accountability for that putrid bitch is the more you will suffer in the inadequacy and deprivation as a subsequent to the fact that you neglect the responsibility of life. You were born with nothing, and here you accumulated spiritual debt. The fact that you can go through life and sit here and project because you refuse to reflect on who you are. You sit here and neglect the baggage of which you've created for yourself instead of to unravel, unpackage, and figure out what the fuck you need to throw away. You will sit here and project it onto people who have nothing to do with it. This is why your life will be this contingent cycle of a perpetuation of devastating emotion. Every day you will wake up in a life you do not want to live because when you look in the mirror, you are the individual you don't want to see. All this suppressed emotion could have been channeled and transmuted into something more beautiful than what you are. But instead of reflecting and refining, you rather deflect and protect, laugh at your weakness, project it outward, and then refuse to take responsibility of which you are responsible for as you project it outward as the hatred within your heart turns dark and black as you blacken through time and as you sit here and try to take away from others. Most of you guys will sit here and break other people down to hopefully make yourself feel more whole. This is why you are going to be left emptier than before. The best thing to do is to look in the fucking mirror and reflect on who you are. And it begins with the fucking habits. You guys create shitty characters that you have to be, and then you pretend like it's the world's fault. You are who you are. This is a direct reflection of the lack of responsibility you choose to bear. You take responsibility for yourself, you now gain the power to create yourself, to set the intention to become and evolve. But most of you guys rather deflect and say, she did this, he did that, and so now I'm this, and this is who I am. And this is why you choose to give other people your power instead of wield it to your will and move with a unyielding force in this world. This is why you will be weak and you will project your weakness and smile at it through the reflection of other people. Because when you lack reflection on yourself, when someone mirrors what the fuck you are, when you see strength in somebody and now you have to reflect on your weakness, well, now you will have to feel the apathy, the guilt, and the shame of which the neglection of yourself has been fostered through the perpetuation of waking up every day and missing what you needed to do and hating what you didn't need to do. You see, most of you guys are so quick to say, what do I need to do to improve? What should I do? But the fact is, it's what not to do. And what you are not supposed to do is what you've been doing this entire fucking time. And so the reason you look in that mirror and you see this bundle of fucking sticks of worth is because that is what you believe you're worth. Most of you guys go through life as a bundle of fucking sticks. You're either going to set that shit on fire and you're going to do some shit to change, or you're going to remain that same bundle of fucking sticks as you pile away more dirt and gravel because you refuse to look in the mirror and confront that pussy. It's very fucking simple. Most of you guys rather react to life and go based off your emotion instead of the logistics and the facts. You have to understand that if you listen to me and you take action to what I say, you will be a better person in a year from now. You hate me for what I say, but you hate yourself even more because you rather listen to your emotion, which kept you in that prison, instead of listen to me and unfold and break through. This is why you will remain who you are. This is why we will evolve beyond. This is why we will be the mirror. This is why you will remain a bundle of sticks. It's because you simply hate the message and you hate the fact you hate yourself so much that you either suppress it and dig a deep hole of pitifulness, shame, apathy, guilt, and remain there and bury yourself underneath, then truly dig it up, feel the emotions of which are suppressed within you, and do some shit to grow, to do some shit to unravel, to experience the harsh, and to see beyond it. This is why you will suffer and die in inevitable failure, because you refuse to say, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm wrong. And this is where most of you guys fuck up. Maybe he's right and what he's saying can change me. Maybe I haven't heard it to the point where it hurts. Maybe it didn't hurt me enough to change. But now I can actually see. Now I'm seeing through the mist of my consciousness. And now I feel what I should be feeling. And when I make it through this emotion, maybe I'll come out the other end a better person. Not just mentally, but spiritually and physically. Not will I only increase mentally, not will my mental health, my mental bandwidth, my perceptual consciousness of which is reflecting from the world. You know, you have to perceive the world through your consciousness. Not only will that evolve, but you will evolve in every level of life. You see, consciousness, the lower level of your consciousness, the more you will instinctually react to life like an animal. Just like how the squirrel reacts when you show up and it just decides to fucking run away. Well, the same way you instantly react to life. The moment something devastating happens, here's the reaction, the emotion spills over. Here's the internal chaos and the turmoil of which you choose to exist in. You have to understand the higher level of your consciousness, the more you can consolidate in the friction and the more you will become this pressurized chamber of energy that will spring outward and attack any goal wherever it needs to go. See, most of you guys are flimsical and scattered. Your attention, it's deprived. You guys seek energy from the world. What you have to do is become your own source of fucking energy. What you have to do is consolidate all this emotion, and you need to spring it outward into an endeavor and become obsessed with that. Now, what do we do, and what does the blueprint, what is the main thing that we focus on the program? Very fucking simple. The main focus of the program is personal expansion to cultivate the internal traits of discipline, resilience, and mastery. And there's nothing more masterful than mastering your fucking monkey. Most of you guys can't go 2 weeks without Pornhub. Most of you guys can't hold your word for 2 weeks and go to the gym. Most of you guys can't hold your word for a week and read a book and stick to it. And so what the fuck do we do on the program? We stick to our fucking word because our word is an anchor. And this anchor is what is going to ground us in this world. See, most people go through the world ungrounded. Validation is their needed grounding. When you don't receive validation, you now spiral. When the room looks at you and they feel some way and you can feel it too, this is where you begin to break. This is where you scatter. This is where you crack. This is where we consolidate and increase in pressure. See, most of you guys can't even handle hate. You hate yourself, but when it comes to other people hating you, you feel it even more. Most of you guys can't sit there and take criticism. Once you apply the criticism, once you can see the hate, you can break it down. You have to understand that hate is fuel. Every negative thing in this life is fuel. And once you use this fuel as pressure to collect and to synergize this and to synthesize it into alchemy, which is to turn negative emotion into positive emotion, to grab negativity and to use it as a source of fuel. The moment you can do this, you win. Because whatever the fuck sees in the dark in this world, it will be obliterated in your presence because it has nowhere to hide. You are the light. You have to understand that pressure is the number one thing you need to accomplish what you want. And most of you guys are quick to scatter. Most of you guys are quick to break because pressure, it's an actual, you have to actually feel the tension. But the more higher level your consciousness, the more you can go through the debris and the pressure and the consolidation of moving through space and time with such an energy and such a masterful, way of maneuvering and wielding this to be the hammer and the cord, to know how to execute with negative energy. You have to understand that negative energy is the pressure and is the fuel. And so most of you guys break instantly when negativity appears. This is where we consolidate and grow stronger. You're either going to be this weak plant, which is in the forest, which is being overshadowed by these massive trees with these massive trunks, which are grounded deep into the earth, which are grounded deep into themselves. Or you're going to become one of the big ones. Maybe you're going to become one of the big trees. But what does a big tree do? It fucking grows. And so how do I grow? Well, you dig through the fucking dirt. And no one ever said that digging through the dirt was going to be easy. No one said that pushing your limit and maximizing yourself in all endeavors was going to be easy. But I'm here to tell you that the moment you get through the dirt and your little seed of what was is now growing to the point where it has compounded and grew to the point where it's astounding to just see how massive this tree is. Sometimes you just come across a tree and it's like, whoa, that tree is fucking huge. Well, you have to become that tree. Most of you guys are so separate from life. It's a reflection of you. But you weren't at the level of consciousness to even perceive it. To you, it was an inanimate object in the universe. Not a reflection of you, but separate of. You guys are life. You're not living in life. Start becoming one with yourself before it's too fucking late. Every day you have the divine anointment to anoint and appoint yourself through growth instead of disappointment. So every day you wake up and you have the chance to accumulate power and go through life with a unyielding will. But until then, you will remain scattered and you will remain in the sanctuary of an abyss state of consciousness, perplexing yourself every day as you twist yourself in this knot of distortion. Every day you have the choice to grow. I leave it up to you. Peace!